I can't breathe, I whispered, clutching my bouquet tighter. My hands trembled, but I forced a smile as the church doors opened. You look stunning, my father murmured, his arm steadying mine. I don't feel stunning, I muttered. I feel like I'm about to faint. Cold feet, he chuckled, though his eyes looked worried. As I walked down the aisle, the crowd turned, smiling. Every step felt heavier, like I was dragging chains. My gaze searched the altar. Daniel stood there, or at least he should have, but the altar was empty. Where is he? I gasped. My father stiffened. Whispers erupted instantly. Is this part of the plan? My bridesmaid, Lily, hissed from the side. No, I croaked, shaking my head. No, this isn't. He said he'd be here. The priest coughed awkwardly. Perhaps a delay? My knees wobbled. Daniel? I called out, my voice breaking. Silence. Then, a door creaked at the back. Gasps filled the church. It's him. Someone whispered. But it wasn't. It was Daniel's best man, pale and sweating. He stumbled forward, avoiding my eyes. Where is he? I demanded. My voice echoed against the vaulted ceiling. He stammered. He's not coming. What? My bouquet slipped from my hand, roses scattering across the floor. Daniel left, he said, his voice strangled. He left with someone else. The air left my lungs. Someone else? Who? The whispers swelled into a storm. A woman in the back gasped loudly. He's with her, your cousin. My cousin, Emma. No, I shook my head violently. You're lying. It's true, the best man whispered, looking away. They drove off together. Just before the ceremony, my world tilted. I grabbed the altar rail to steady myself. Lily rushed to my side. Screw him. You don't need this. Come on. Let's leave. Leave? I rasped. My voice cracked with disbelief. In this dress? In front of everyone? The crowd shifted uncomfortably, some pitying, some scandalized. I could feel their eyes like daggers. Why would he do this? I muttered, tears blurring my vision. Why with her? Lily's face hardened. Because he's a coward. Because she's jealous. You don't deserve either of them. I gave him everything, I whispered. Every dream, every plan, and he just— My chest heaved. The priest stepped closer. My dear, perhaps we should— Don't, I snapped, my voice sharp. Don't tell me to calm down. I was left at the altar like some discarded toy. My father's hand rested on my shoulder. We'll go home. We'll handle this later. No, I said, shaking him off. Not later. Everyone sees it now. Everyone knows. He chose her. The whispers grew louder, like vultures circling. I can't breathe, I murmured again, pressing a hand to my chest. Come with me, Lily urged. Don't give them more to gossip about. But that's all I'll ever be now, I spat bitterly. A story, a joke. The bride left for her own cousin. Tears burned my cheeks. I turned to the stunned faces in the pews. Are you entertained? My voice cracked, but no one answered. The best man muttered, I'm sorry. Sorry? I laughed bitterly through tears. Sorry doesn't erase the image of him driving away with her. Sorry doesn't fix this dress. Sorry doesn't fix my heart. Lily squeezed my hand. Then don't let this break you. Let it make you. I swallowed hard. Rage flickered through the fog of humiliation. My hands clenched, nails digging into my palms. He left me at the altar, I whispered fiercely. But I swear he will regret this. I can't sleep, I whispered into the dark, clutching my blanket. My mother's voice slipped through the door. Sweetheart, you need to rest. How can I? Every time I close my eyes, I see them. She entered quietly, sitting on the edge of my bed. Emma was always troubled. She was my cousin. I snapped, my throat burning. She was supposed to stand by me, not steal him. My mother sighed. We didn't raise you to hold on to hate. Hate? I laughed bitterly. Then what should I hold on to? Love? Faith? Both of those just slit my throat. She touched my hand gently. You will heal. I pulled away. No, healing makes it sound like I'll forget. I won't. The next morning, whispers followed me like shadows. At the market, two women leaned close. Did you hear? He ran away with her own cousin. Shameless, the other said. I slammed my basket onto the counter. Say it louder. Maybe the whole town didn't hear yet. Their faces reddened. But they didn't apologize. When I returned home, my father waited on the porch. Sit, he ordered. I sank into the chair, arms folded. You can't go around lashing out at everyone, he said firmly. They're laughing at me, Dad. I'm the bride who was abandoned. Do you know how that feels? He clenched his jaw. Yes, I know humiliation. But anger will eat you alive. Good, I shot back. Let it. At least then I'll feel something other than this emptiness. His voice softened. Daniel isn't worth destroying yourself. I stared at the ground. But Emma was worth destroying me? That night, Lily came over with a bottle of wine. You look like hell, she said bluntly. Thanks, I muttered, taking a sip. She leaned forward. You need to hear this. Daniel didn't just leave you. He planned it. Emma bragged to someone that they'd been sneaking around for months. My stomach twisted. Months? Yes. He was lying to your face while sleeping with her. He let you plan a wedding he never intended to finish. I felt bile rise. How could I be so blind? You trusted him, she said simply. That's not blindness. That's love. They're the ones who spat on it. I slammed the glass down. They spit on me. Her eyes narrowed. So what are you going to do? I stared at her. I don't know. Yes, you do, she pressed. You either let them win or you rise. Which is it? Later, alone in my room, I whispered to the mirror. Why her, Daniel? Wasn't I enough? My reflection didn't answer. Just a pale, hollow girl in a crumpled nightgown stared back. I gripped the sink. No, I won't let you both destroy me. If you think I'll break, you're wrong. The following week, Emma dared to show up at my parents' house. She wore his jacket, her smirk cutting deeper than a blade. Why are you here? I demanded, stepping onto the porch. She tilted her head. To see if you're still crying. You stole him, I hissed. I didn't steal. He chose me, she said sweetly. Maybe you just weren't enough. My hand trembled, but I didn't slap her. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. Instead, I leaned close. Enjoy it while it lasts. Daniel runs when things get hard. One day, he'll run from you too. Her smile faltered for a moment, and that tiny crack fed me more than food had all week. That night, as I lay awake again, I replayed her words. Maybe you just weren't enough. My chest ached, but then I remembered the flicker of doubt in her eyes. I will rise, I whispered into the silence. I will make both of you regret the day you betrayed me, and for the first time since the altar, I slept without tears. I can't believe you dragged me here, I muttered to Lily as we stepped into the grand ballroom. You've been hiding for weeks, she said firmly. You need to show your face again. My face is the punchline, I whispered bitterly. Her grip tightened on my arm. Then let them choke on it. The chandeliers glimmered above us, and music swirled, but all I heard were whispers. I could almost feel Daniel's name crawling across every tongue. I made for the corner, but a low voice stopped me. You don't belong in shadows. I turned sharply. A man stood there, tall, dressed in black, his presence swallowing the air around him. Adrian Blackwell, my ex's greatest rival. I froze. You know me? I asked, my voice unsteady. Everyone knows you, he said, eyes sharp. The bride who was left at the altar. My stomach twisted. So you came to laugh too? No, he replied smoothly. I came to watch. Watch me drown? I snapped. Watch you survive. His gaze lingered on me, steady and unreadable. You haven't broken yet. That interests me. I scoffed. Glad I can provide entertainment. He tilted his head. Not entertainment, potential. Lily appeared at my side, tense. We should go. But Adrian's eyes never left mine. Tell me, does it still hurt? Yes, I admitted before I could stop myself. Every breath feels like a reminder. His lips curved faintly. Good, pain sharpens. It teaches you where to strike. I frowned. You talk like this is war. It is. His voice lowered, almost conspiratorial. And Daniel is already losing ground. I stiffened. Why do you care about Daniel? Because he fears me, Adrian said simply. And because now, you are tied to him by betrayal. That makes you useful. Useful? My chest tightened. So I'm just a weapon to you? His gaze softened just for a second. Not just. Lily tugged at me. We should leave. He's dangerous. Yes, Adrian agreed. Dangerous to Daniel. I swallowed hard. What do you want from me? He leaned closer, his words slicing through the noise of the ballroom. Marry me, and I'll make him regret ever touching you. The words hung between us, heavy, shocking. You can't be serious, I whispered. I've never been more serious, he said. Daniel's fear is mine to exploit, but with you by my side, it becomes personal. And personal wounds cut deepest, Lily gasped. This is insane. You barely know her. I don't need years, Adrian replied calmly. I need fire. And she has it. I shook my head. You don't even like me. You just want to win. His eyes narrowed. Maybe. Or maybe I recognize strength when I see it. Strength. The word clawed at me, desperate to take root. What if I say no? I asked quietly. Then you walk away tonight and keep drowning in their whispers, he said. But if you say yes, you'll never be the victim again. My breath caught. The music swelled around us, but all I could hear was my own heartbeat. Lily's voice trembled. Don't listen to him. This isn't love. It's revenge. Sometimes, Adrian said, his gaze never leaving me. Revenge is the only kind of love worth having. I stared at him, my pulse racing. My world was already shattered. What was one more reckless choice? My voice came out hoarse. And if I agree, what happens then? He smirked, the faintest shadow of satisfaction. Then Daniel learns what true fear feels like. You can't be serious, I whispered, pacing the edge of the terrace. The night air stung my skin. Marry you? Just like that? Adrian leaned casually against the railing. You heard me clearly. I spun toward him. You don't even know me. I know enough, he said calmly. I know you've been humiliated. I know Daniel fears me more than anyone. And I know that standing by my side will give you back the power he stole. Power? I scoffed. That's not marriage. That's strategy. His eyes glinted. Exactly. I pressed a hand to my chest. Do you even hear yourself? You're asking me to become your pawn. Not pawn, he corrected smoothly. Partner. Why me? My voice cracked. You could have anyone. Women throw themselves at you. He straightened, his gaze piercing. Because revenge tastes sweeter when it's personal. Daniel took something from you. If you stand with me, he loses everything he thought he controlled. I shook my head. That's not an answer. You don't want me. You want my pain. For the first time, his expression softened. Maybe I want both. The admission stole my breath. Lily stormed out from behind the glass doors. This is madness. You're talking about marrying a man you barely know. Adrian's gaze flicked to her. Do you have a better solution? Shall she keep crying into her pillow while Daniel parades around with her cousin? Lily glared at him. She doesn't need you. She needs healing. Healing doesn't terrify your enemies, Adrian replied coldly. I raised a hand. Stop it, both of you. My voice trembled, but I forced it steady. Adrian, this can't just be about destroying Daniel. What happens after the wedding? What am I supposed to be to you? He stepped closer, his presence overwhelming. You'll be the woman everyone envies. The one Daniel can never touch again. You'll be untouchable, untouchable, I repeated, tasting the word. It felt sharp, dangerous, intoxicating. Lily grabbed my arm. Don't fall for this. He's manipulating you. Adrian's tone hardened. I don't manipulate. I make offers. She decides. I met his eyes. And if I say yes, what do you get out of it? His lips curved faintly. Satisfaction, control, and perhaps in time something more. The suggestion sent heat rushing through me. I turned away, struggling to breathe. This is insane, I whispered again. But insanity might be all I have left. Lily's grip tightened. Don't do this, please. You'll regret it. I looked at her, then at Adrian. His gaze burned into me, steady, unyielding. Daniel left me at the altar, I said slowly. He thought I'd crawl into a corner and disappear. If I marry you, he'll choke on his own fear. Adrian's smile was cold, victorious. Now you understand. Fine, I said, my voice sharp as glass. I'll do it. Not for love. Not for you. But because I refuse to let them win. Lily gasped. You can't. I already did. I cut her off. Adrian extended his hand, palm open. Then consider it sealed. I hesitated, then placed my hand in his. His grip was firm, final. A shiver ran through me, not of fear, but of fire. Have you seen the headlines? Lily burst into my room, her phone waving in the air. I groaned. Do I want to? She shoved the screen at me. The jilted bride and Adrian Blackwell engagement confirmed. My stomach flipped. Already? It's everywhere, she hissed. People are losing their minds. I covered my face with my hands. God, they'll think I've lost mine. No, Lily said sharply. They'll think you've risen from the ashes. By afternoon, my phone buzzed endlessly. Messages poured in, pity shifting into disbelief, disbelief into envy. At the caf, I couldn't take a sip without whispers following me. Did you hear? She's marrying Blackwell. Revenge, pure revenge. Or maybe he actually likes her. I slammed my cup down. Do they think I'm deaf? Lily smirked. Let them choke. You look untouchable now. That night, my parents confronted me. My father's brow furrowed. Is this true? You're marrying him? Yes. I kept my voice steady. My mother gasped. Adrian Blackwell? The man your ex fears? I nodded. Exactly. My father leaned forward. Is this about Daniel? Or about you? Both, I admitted. I'm done being weak. Adrian gives me strength, my mother whispered. Or chains? I clenched my fists. No, Daniel chained me when he abandoned me. This is me breaking free. 2 days later, Daniel found me outside a boutique. His face was pale, furious. You can't be serious, he spat. You're marrying him? I stared straight into his eyes. Yes. He stepped closer, voice low. You're doing this to hurt me. Good, I snapped. Then it's working. His jaw tightened. He's dangerous. He'll use you. I laughed bitterly. Better to be used by a man who makes me strong than loved by one who made me nothing. Daniel's voice cracked. You don't love him, and you didn't love me, I fired back. So tell me who's worse. For once, he had no answer. Emma called me that night, her voice dripping with venom. You think you've won, don't you? I don't need to win, I said coldly. You already lost the moment you touched him, she hissed. Adrian's just playing with you. Maybe, I admitted. But he's playing on my side, not yours. She hung up, but I could almost feel her trembling fury. At a charity gala, Adrian stood beside me, immaculate as always. Cameras flashed. People stared. He leaned close and whispered, Do you hear them? Yes, I murmured. They're wondering if this is love or war, and what do you want them to believe? He asked. I glanced at the crowd, their eyes devouring every movement. Both, a faint smile touched his lips. Good answer. One reporter shouted, Miss, is this engagement revenge against your ex? I held my head high. No, this is my new beginning. The crowd erupted in questions, but Adrian silenced them with one look. He slid his hand into mine, squeezing firmly. The warmth startled me, steadying me. For the first time in weeks, I felt safe. Later, in the car, I whispered, Why did you hold my hand? His eyes stayed on the road. Because they needed to see strength. Whose strength? I pressed. He glanced at me just briefly. Yours. I swallowed hard, my chest tight. You make it sound real. Does it feel real? He asked softly. I stared at our hands still touching. Yes. His lips curved faintly, unreadable. Then maybe it is. That night, lying in bed, I replayed the scene. Once pitied, now envied. Once abandoned, now desired. But beneath the whispers, beneath the scandal, one truth lingered. Daniel looked at me today with fear in his eyes, and for the first time, I smiled. I nearly jumped when I heard the knock at my window. Midnight. My heart pounded as I pulled the curtain back. Daniel? I whispered in disbelief. He stood there, pale and trembling. Please let me in. Against my better judgment, I unlocked the window. He climbed inside, his breath uneven. What are you doing here? I demanded, stepping back. I made a mistake, he said, voice cracking. A terrible mistake. I laughed bitterly. You don't say. He flinched. I thought Emma was what I wanted. I was wrong. You were wrong at the altar, I snapped. You were wrong when you left me humiliated in front of everyone I knew. He reached for me. I panicked. I didn't know what I was doing. I shoved his hand away. You knew exactly what you were doing. You chose her. His eyes shone with regret. And now I choose you. Too late, I said coldly. He stepped closer. I still love you. My chest tightened, but I forced myself to stay steady. Love, don't insult me. Love doesn't run away. Love doesn't betray. His voice dropped to a whisper. I miss you. I swallowed hard. You miss the woman who adored you. She's gone. He shook his head violently. No, she's here. I can see it in your eyes. I met his gaze with steel. What you see is the ghost of what you killed. He froze, his mouth opening but no words coming out. I continued, voice sharp. Do you think you can crawl back after tearing me apart? Do you think I'll just forget? I want to make it right. He pleaded. We can fix this. No, I hissed. You broke something that can't be fixed. His desperation grew. You're only with Blackwell to punish me, and it's working, I said coldly. He grabbed my arm, his grip shaking. He doesn't care about you. He'll destroy you. I yanked free. Better destroyed with him than pitied with you. He staggered back, wounded. You don't mean that. I mean every word. Tears slid down his cheeks. I can't lose you. You already did, I said. He whispered, please give me another chance. My throat ached, but I forced the words out. You left me at the altar, Daniel. You chose her. There are no second chances. He collapsed onto the edge of the bed, burying his face in his hands. I ruined everything. Yes, I said, my voice trembling but firm. And you'll live with it. He looked up, eyes hollow. You don't love me anymore? I hesitated. No, not enough to forgive you. Silence pressed between us, heavy and final. Adrian will never love you, he whispered. Maybe not, I said. But he respects me more than you ever did. His jaw clenched. You've changed. Good, I replied. I never want to be that weak girl again. He rose slowly, broken. So this is it? Yes, I said. This is the end. He stared at me one last time, then climbed out the window. The night swallowed him. I stood frozen, my chest heaving. My heart ached, but there was no begging, no collapse, no tears. For the first time, I felt stronger than him, and for the first time, I saw him powerless. This isn't real, I whispered as Adrian's driver opened the doors to the towering glass building. Adrian glanced at me. It's as real as you want it to be. Marble floors stretched endlessly inside. People bowed their heads as we passed. I leaned closer. They're afraid of you. They respect me, he corrected. No, I said softly. That's fear. He smirked. Fear keeps order. Later, in his office high above the city, I stared at the view. How do you live like this? Control. He replied simply. You either hold it or lose it. Is that what I am? Control over Daniel? I asked sharply. His gaze locked on mine. Do you think so little of yourself? I think you use people. I shot back. He stepped closer, his voice low. And what if I also protect them? My pulse quickened. Protect or own? Both, he admitted. I turned away, heat rising in my chest. That night, at a dinner party filled with his associates, whispers surrounded me. Is that her? Someone murmured. The bride Daniel abandoned. Now she's on Adrian's arm. Adrian leaned down, his lips brushing my ear. Ignore them. They envy you. Or they pity me, I muttered, his hand tightened around mine. No one pities what they fear. Afterward, I slipped away to the hallway, needing air. That's when I heard his voice, Adrian's, low and sharp. You went too far showing up at her house, he said. Daniel's voice answered, trembling. She's mine. She was never yours, Adrian replied coldly. Touch her again, and you'll disappear. My breath caught. Daniel stammered. You wouldn't, I would. Adrian cut him off. And you know it. Silence. Then hurried footsteps faded. I pressed against the wall, heart pounding. When Adrian returned, I confronted him. You threatened him. Yes. His tone was flat, unapologetic. You told him he'd disappear. I meant it, he said calmly. Fear and relief warred inside me. Why? Why protect me like this? His eyes softened, just barely. Because no one gets to break what's mine. I shook my head. There it is again. Yours. I'm not property. No, he said firmly. You're fire. And fire must be guarded. I searched his face. So this isn't just revenge? His silence was heavier than words. Back in the car, I whispered, You terrify him. Good, Adrian said. Terror is the only language he understands. And what about me? I asked quietly. He looked at me, expression unreadable. You understand strength. I turned to the window, hiding the confusion storming inside me. Later, alone in my room, I replayed his words. Touch her again, and you'll disappear. He hadn't hesitated. He hadn't lied. I pressed my hand to my chest. This isn't my revenge anymore, I whispered. It's ours. And that thought scared me more than anything. Did you hear? Lily leaned across the caf table, lowering her voice. Emma was seen screaming at Daniel in the street. I raised an eyebrow. Already? She accused him of ruining her life, Lily said with a grin. He told her she was a mistake. Everyone saw. I sipped my coffee slowly. Good. Let them destroy each other. 2 days later, Emma cornered me outside the boutique. Her hair was a mess, eyes wild. This is your fault, she shrieked. I crossed my arms. What is? He won't touch me, she spat. He keeps saying your name. I let a smile curve my lips. Sounds like karma. Her face twisted. You think you've won? He'll come back to me. No, I said calmly. He'll never come back to either of us. She slapped my arm, tears burning her cheeks. then stormed off. That evening, Daniel staggered into the restaurant where Adrian and I were dining. His eyes were bloodshot, his shirt wrinkled. "Get up," he slurred, pointing at me. "You don't belong here with him." Conversations hushed instantly. All eyes turned to us. I froze. "Daniel, you're drunk. Go home." "No," he shouted. "You are mine, mine." Adrian's fork clinked against his plate as he set it down. His gaze was steady, cold. Daniel grabbed my wrist. "Say it. Tell me you still love me." I yanked my arm free. "I don't." He stumbled back like I'd slapped him. "Liar. You always begged for me." "Not anymore," I said firmly. "That girl is gone." Adrian rose slowly, towering over him. "You're done." Daniel laughed bitterly. "You think you can take her from me?" Adrian didn't blink. "I didn't take her. You threw her away." Daniel's face twisted. "She'll regret choosing you." "Touch her again," Adrian said quietly, "and you'll regret breathing." The silence was suffocating. Daniel froze, sweat sliding down his temple. I whispered, "Go, Daniel. Before you lose what little dignity you have left." His lips trembled. "You'll regret this," he muttered, then stumbled out, leaving whispers in his wake. Back at the table, my hands shook. "You didn't have to." "Yes," Adrian interrupted. "I did." "He's already falling apart," I said softly. "I almost feel." "Don't." Adrian cut me off. "He chose this path." I exhaled shakily. "Still seeing him like that, it's not the victory I imagined." Adrian's eyes softened. "Because you still remember the boy you loved. But he's gone. What you saw tonight was a man destroyed by his own weakness." I stared at him. "And you terrify me." "Good," he said. "Fear keeps you sharp." Later, as Adrian escorted me to the car, whispers followed us. "Did you see Blackwell's face?" Daniel nearly collapsed under it. "He'll never dare touch her again." Adrian opened the car door for me, his hand brushing mine. "Are you afraid of me?" he asked quietly. I swallowed. "Yes, but I also feel safe with you." "How is that possible?" "Because power is both a shield and a weapon," he said. "And tonight you needed both." I sank into the seat, trembling. Daniel's smile, it's cracking. Adrian slid in beside me. "Good, let it shatter." That night, I lay awake replaying the scene: Emma's jealousy, Daniel's desperation, Adrian's quiet threat. Piece by piece, their world was collapsing. Piece by piece, mine was being rebuilt, and for the first time, I wondered if my revenge had become something far more dangerous. "You're using me," I snapped, pacing across Adrian's study. He leaned back in his chair, calm as ever. "Explain." I spun toward him. "Am I just your weapon against Daniel? Some trophy to wave in his face?" His eyes narrowed. "Is that what you think?" "What else am I supposed to think?" My voice cracked. "You don't talk about feelings. You talk about strategy, about control, about power. What about me?" He rose slowly, his presence filling the room. "You agreed to this." "Yes," I said fiercely. "But I agreed to stand beside you, not to be your pawn." Silence stretched, heavy, unbearable. "Say something," I demanded, my chest heaving. His lips parted, but no words came. I laughed bitterly. "Exactly. You can't even deny it." He stepped closer. "Careful." "Or what?" I challenged. "You remind me I belong to you." His jaw tightened. "You're pushing me." "Because I want the truth," I shouted. "Am I just your revenge dressed in silk?" His silence cut deeper than a blade. I felt the sting of tears. "Answer me, Adrian." In a sudden movement, he grabbed my wrist, pulling me against him. Before I could protest, his lips crashed onto mine. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't tender. It was a war. My breath caught, my fists pounding weakly against his chest. "Stop." He deepened the kiss, fierce, unyielding. My body trembled, torn between rage and fire. When he finally pulled back, his eyes burned. "That's your answer?" I gasped for air. That wasn't an answer. That was an attack. "Was it?" he asked quietly. My cheeks burned. "You don't get to confuse me like this." "You're already confused," he murmured. I shoved at him, but his grip didn't falter. "You think you can kiss me and make me forget what I asked?" "No," he said firmly. "I kissed you because words weren't enough." My heart pounded violently. "You terrify me." "Good," he whispered. "Fear sharpens desire." I shook my head, tears threatening. "This isn't desire. This is madness." He leaned closer again, his breath warm against my skin. "Then why are you still here?" I froze, my lips trembling. Because I don't know how to walk away. His expression softened just slightly. Then don't, I whispered hoarsely. Adrian, I don't want to be just a weapon. You're not, he said. You're the fire that burns him down. I swallowed hard. And what if I burn too? His gaze held mine. Then I'll burn with you. My knees weakened, my voice barely a whisper. This is dangerous. He smirked faintly. Good, then we're finally honest. Later, alone in my room, I pressed trembling fingers to my lips. It hadn't been a kiss of love. It hadn't been a kiss of comfort. It had been a kiss of war, and I hated that part of me wanted more. Have you heard? Lily whispered, sliding into the booth across from me. I raised an eyebrow. What now? Daniel's company filed for bankruptcy. Investors pulled out. Rumor says Adrian crushed the last deal himself. I stirred my coffee slowly. Good. That's not all, she added. Emma left him, packed her bags and disappeared. I leaned back, a bitter laugh escaping. Of course she did. Betrayal eats its own. That evening, I found Daniel waiting outside my apartment. His shoulders slumped, eyes hollow. What are you doing here? I asked flatly. I needed to see you, he said hoarsely. I crossed my arms. You shouldn't be here. Please, he whispered. Just hear me out. Against my better judgment, I let him follow me inside. He looked around like a stranger trespassing in a world that no longer belonged to him. He sank onto the couch, burying his face in his hands. Everything's gone. My business, my money, even Emma. I stood across the room. You expected loyalty from the woman you betrayed me with? His shoulders shook. I was stupid. I thought she loved me. She wanted the spotlight, the power. When it crumbled, so did she. And now you come crawling to me? I asked coldly. His eyes lifted, wet with tears. Because I still love you. The words hung in the air, fragile and broken. I shook my head slowly. No, Daniel. You love what I used to give you: devotion, forgiveness, blind faith. That's gone. He pushed forward, desperation in every line of his face. I can change. Please, let me prove it. Change? I scoffed. You didn't change when you walked away. You didn't change when you watched me drown in humiliation. Why now? Because I lost you, he said, his voice cracking. And losing you showed me who I am. Without you, nothing. I clenched my fists. And yet you chose her over me. I thought she was easier, he admitted. You demanded too much. You wanted honesty, commitment. Emma wanted attention. I was weak. I stepped closer, my voice sharp. You weren't weak, Daniel. You were selfish. He reached for me. Give me another chance. I pulled back instantly. Don't touch me. His hand fell, trembling. I'm begging you. Don't marry him. Marry me. We can start again. I laughed bitterly. Start again? After you left me standing in front of everyone I loved, in a white dress that suddenly meant nothing. His lips trembled. I was afraid, and I was humiliated. I snapped. But I survived. I rose. And you fell. Tears slid down his cheeks. I regret everything. Good, I whispered. You should. He stared at me like a drowning man. So that's it? You feel nothing for me? I held his gaze, steady and cold. Nothing but pity. He flinched as though I'd struck him. Please just say there's still something. There isn't, I said firmly. You left me at the altar, Daniel. That was the day you buried us. His chest heaved, his face collapsing under the weight of my words. I loved you, he whispered weakly. No, I said, my voice final. You loved yourself. Silence pressed against us, heavy and suffocating. At last, he stood, broken. Then I'll go. Yes, I said. Go, and don't come back. He staggered toward the door, pausing only once to glance back. His eyes were hollow, his smile cracked, his empire gone. When the door closed, I exhaled slowly. For the first time, I felt no ache, no longing, no grief, only peace. Daniel had fallen, and I was free. Are you ready? Lily whispered, straightening my veil. I looked at my reflection, the white silk flowing around me. I don't know. You look powerful, she said softly. Not broken anymore. I forced a smile. Then that's enough. The music swelled. My father appeared at the doorway. It's time. As I stepped forward, memories clawed at me: the empty altar, Daniel's absence, Emma's smirk. But the weight on my shoulders felt lighter. I lifted my chin. Gasps filled the church as I walked down the aisle. Whispers spread like wildfire. She's marrying Blackwell. She rose from ashes. Look at her now. I ignored them. My eyes locked on Adrian, waiting at the altar. His expression unreadable, yet his gaze steady, anchored me. When I reached him, he whispered, "You walked like a queen, and you look like a storm." I replied quietly, his lips curved faintly. "Fitting." The priest began the ceremony. "Do you, Adrian Blackwell, take?" "Yes." Adrian cut him off. His voice was steady, commanding. Gasps echoed, a ripple of laughter breaking the tension. I blinked at him. "You couldn't wait?" "No," he said firmly. "Not another second." My lips curved despite myself. Then it was my turn. My hands trembled as I held his. The priest's words faded into background noise. I took a deep breath. "I have vows of my own," I said, my voice carrying through the church. The priest hesitated, then nodded. I turned to Adrian, but my words were for everyone. I was left once. I begged once. I shattered once. But today, I vow never to beg for love again. I vow to stand, even if I stand alone. I vow to never let betrayal define me. The room hushed. I looked directly at Adrian. "And with you, I vow to fight, to rise, to claim every part of myself they tried to break." He squeezed my hands, his voice low. "Then I vow to protect that fire." From the shadows at the back, I felt eyes burning into me. I turned briefly and saw him. Daniel. His face was pale, regret etched deep, his posture crumbling. My chest tightened for a heartbeat, but then I lifted my chin. I smiled, not for him, never for him. For me. Adrian followed my gaze, then leaned closer. "Ignore the ghost." "I already did," I whispered. The ceremony ended. Applause erupted. Adrian pulled me close, his voice a low murmur. "You're mine now." I met his eyes. "No, I'm mine. And I chose you." For a moment, silence passed between us, then he nodded. "Fair enough." We turned to face the crowd, his hand covering mine. I expected the whispers, the stares, the judgment. Instead, I heard she did it. She's stronger than all of them. She won. Outside, under the open sky, Adrian leaned close. "Do you feel victorious?" I exhaled slowly. "Not because of this dress, not because of you, but because I survived." He studied me. "You're different than I imagined, and you're exactly what I expected," I said softly, his lips curved in the faintest smile. "A storm and a queen. Dangerous pair. Maybe that's the point." I replied. As the night fell and the celebration roared behind us, I whispered to myself, "This isn't a fairy tale. This is war." And I won. And for the first time, the vow wasn't for anyone else. It was for me.